What's up, YouTube? It's Drunk Joe here, back in with another video. Uh, I woke up this morning expecting, more reviews, kits, all this other fun stuff about Acheron before she comes out. I did not expect the amount of craziness that occurred with these private servers and HOYOVERSE's policies, and I understand that they're trying to fight leakers. I do, and how they're approaching it is good in a way, but at the same point, for bigger content creators, it definitely hurts them, right? I'm small. I do this for fun, right? I have nothing to lose here, okay? Um, but the fact that now you're creating a FOMO in a sense, and almost a fear, I feel like, because if you want to get into this server, what can be the requirements, right? How much negativity can you really say about their content? Before they blacklist you or even stop considering you for this. And the fact that you can't use any footage from these videos that these content creators are making from these servers. I even heard some you can't even react to it. I'm like, okay, there's no way you can't react to it. I watched a few videos on this. Gotcha Smacks, BRAXOPHONES reaction or response, I should say. A little while ago, Tectones, and unfortunately MTash, which he really seemed devastated in that. Um, and no one should be attacking these guys. The guy, people who have been given access. I went to lose, and Braxphone. I believe there's a third one. I don't remember their name right now. Um, and they've been given opportunity, right? And at the end of the day, these guys have to make these videos to support their livelihood. Understandably so, right? This is a beta, so obviously they will let more content creators in as time goes by. Um, but like I said before, I'm a small, very small content creator. I got 6 subscribers at the time of making this video. I make this for fun, in my spare time, after work, right? Working 10, 12-hour shifts. I come home. If I get time, I'll make a video or two. And I like to test the waters though, right? I'd like to see how far we can get with things. I do it in any aspect of my life. So, without further ado, let's go react to this video. Oh man, this shit's gonna be wild. I wonder if I'm gonna get a copyright strike. That'd be cool. First one. Fuck it.
Baby. Poor Yenching is about to be removed from this planet. 163k.
Sheesh.
336k. 500k. Boom. 900k damage on E0. Dude, I have the craziest surprise for you
Get
guys
the fuck out.
of all time. And by of all time, I mean
Look, that's a good ceremony for her departure as best DPS right there, guys.
Early access to Acheron. HOYOVERSE was kind enough to share their creator experience server, which to my knowledge is just gonna let me get to try things out a little bit early and then show
Do your
them
thing,
to you
Brax.
guys,
Do your thing, boy.
I'm really excited about it. Now, the one thing I do need to let you guys know is that, of course, all this is actually still subject to change. There's still a week before Acheron comes out as of me making this video, and because of that, some things could get tweaked. So these are going to be my initial impressions based off of this early version of Acheron. Things could change, so stay tuned for my guide video. That's going to have everything fully up to date, fully correct.
And you better believe we're going to watch that too.
One thing I need to let you guys know as well is that if you re-upload this content, it can be taken down by HOYOVERSE, so be careful out there. I don't recommend re-uploading my content. I don't mind people reacting to it. I don't mind people watching it, but just know that that risk is there. Anyway, so let's talk about Acheron.
Bring it on. I love risk.
Got a couple really cool things going for her, and
gets me hard.
You guys saw her ultimate ability. This character has one of my favorite designs of all of the HOYOVERSE characters that we've seen so far, and specifically when it comes
amazing
to her
design.
Combat, she is unlike any other character in the game. So you probably heard what she does from the live stream, but now I'm going to give you the in-depth first look at everything Acheron.
Let's see what she can do.
Acheron works is that she actually has a very special mechanic with her energy. Instead of having a regular energy bank, she has these sort of stacks, and these stacks are called /dream. Now, once you get up to 9 /dream stacks, you can activate
Okay.
her ultimate, which is going to deal a set amount of damage based on the amount of Crimson Knot stacks you have and your build, of course. So there's a couple different ways to get /stream stacks. One of them is by using her skill. Her skill will grant 1 point of /stream, whereas her basic will not. So you don't want to use her basic attack.
Fuck the
It's
basic.
also going to be
All right.
blast damage, so it's going to hit 3 targets. And the second way to get /stream is whenever an enemy gets a debuff on them, it's going to give you 1 /stream stack.
Oh, we're gonna have some
Because
fun with those
Acheron's
debuffs. I'm gonna
signature
tell you
Lycon,
right
which we
now.
don't have equipped right now, also gives a debuff.
Ooh,
that could
so
also
S0
count
too,
towards
huh?
her stacks. However, this doesn't work for other characters. The reason is that whenever any unit
Yeah,
inflicts
real free to
debuffs
play
on another
now.
target using their ability, she'll gain a stack. And this can apply to like Pela if you use Pela's skill and it applies the ice res from her Eidolons, or it
Okay.
can apply to like Gwynaifin with some of her debuffs or her dons.
Good
They will
choices.
get
Good
1 stack, and it's
choices.
limited to 1 stack per ability usage. However, if she has her signature light cone that can also give a debuff, that is 1 stack from the light cone, but it's also 1 stack from her skill that says gain 1 point. Now, if you use Pela's skill that applies ice res shred and also have the defense shredding light cone on her, it will still only give 1 stack. And the reason is because her skill, Pela's skill, does not say gives Acheron 1 stack. Pela's skill just does what Pela's skill does. So effectively, you can only get 1 per action, but if you have her light cone, she gains 1 by default, and the light cone can add another one.
That's what I've been saying, right? 1 per instance or action, like you said. I like that wording better. All right. Yeah. Gonna put a little plug in here real quick. If you want to see me pull Acheron and her light cone, don't forget to check out my channel when she drops, if it's still available. I doubt 1 copyright strike would do anything to me.
That also means that if you run the defense shredding one, Resolution Shrines as Pearls of Sweat on Acheron here, it can
good
also give you 1
choice.
stack as well. Something else that's really important to know is that if you break an enemy with this, it also counts as a debuff. So
Oh,
that
okay,
debuff can add
okay.
to another stack.
Oh,
So
yeah,
let's go
yeah,
ahead and
yeah.
use her skill,
Elemental
and we're gonna
deep
get 1
break.
stack, as you can see here, because we don't have her signature. However, if we had her signature, it would have gone up to 2 stacks. This also means that she is basically unaffected by energy mechanics in general, so using Silverwolf's Nihility Light Cone isn't going to do anything for her. So I'm going to go ahead and do this again, 8 stacks. And then
That's
we're
right,
gonna go
baby
ahead and
girl.
get our
Don't need
9th
any
stack
energy
here.
regen.
And as you can see, we are completely full. Let's go ahead and use her ultimate.
Oh, that's so good.
God, that is nasty. I love that.
Ah.
This whole like domain expansion thing she has going on is so sick.
Yo.
So basically you have 3 slashes, and they are weak to lightning, so you can't really tell, but each slash is going to take out a chunk of toughness regardless of the enemy's type. So you can actually break an enemy
Have you ever seen an anime? I think it's called Knight of the Royal Academy, something like that. It's an old anime. It never finished. It only has 1 season. But the final battle, right? The main character can like accelerate his own body, right? Essentially, he's like the weakest knight ever, but he can for like 1 minute, or he can accelerate his own power to exceed any of the other enhanced swordsmen. In the final battle, he fights the strongest one, and he enhances his power for 1 second, and they just do this cool effect, kind of like this, where all you see is yellow and red. Right, the main character and the person he's fighting, and just blood coming out of his eyes. That's what this reminds me of, and that effect, the whole anime I don't remember except for that 1 battle because of the way they present that final moment, and that's how this feels to me, right? Like just hitting that ultimate. Oh man, I'm gonna have fun with this shit.
regardless of the typing that they have, and it's pretty disgusting. Now, the way her mechanics work is that every single one of her slashes that she does, she's going to do 3 slashes and then a finishing move, is that every slash that she does can take away up to 3
That
of
AoE is
these
crazy.
Crimson Knots, which are these flowers up above. For every Crimson Knot stack that goes away when you use
Oh, he
these
has
slashes,
9 of them
it's going to
too.
increase the
Shit.
multiplier of the attack itself. So I'm going to go and use this. It's going to bring it down to 6.
I was wondering
and
what
this
the
should
limit
be
to
able
that
get-
was.
Keep in mind, we're unbuffed right now.
Oh, it takes
That's
3 away at a
12.5K,
time
And then
too.
he's down to 6. Now we're going to do it again.
So you can
Now we're about
stack
31K,
that
that's just
up.
down to 3 stacks, and then we're gonna do the 3rd and final slash. Boom. And then the 4th finishing slash. So as you can see, all of the Crimson Knot stacks are gone. And wait a second, why does she have an extra stack here? That's kind of weird.
Oh, the over
Well,
limit.
she
Okay.
actually has sort of an
Her trace.
overcap mechanic. And that's going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. So basically, Acheron has this mechanic where if you go over to her abilities and look at her technique thing, it's hidden away in techniques. It's called Quadrivalent Ascendance. And after using her ultimate,
Yeah.
she gains 1 point of slash stream and inflicts 1 stack of Crimson Knot on a single random enemy. Now, this seems like not a huge deal.
Yeah, but how
Basically,
many
just
can
means
you
only get 1
overlimit?
point back. But it's actually more than that. Because if you go to her talent and you scroll down to some of her traces, she has a trace that makes it so when the battle starts, she immediately gains 5 points of Slash Stream, which you could see earlier, and applies 5 stacks of Crimson Nut to a random enemy.
First
and then when
turn
Slash Stream
ultimates are
reaches
gonna be
its upper limit,
possible.
for every single point of Slash Stream that you have that goes over, you gain 1 stack of Quadrivalent Ascendance up to maximum of 3. So you can actually
3,
off
called
that
it.
on
Called
3
that shit.
stacks of her energy and give it back to her
30%.
after her ultimate, which is super awesome. Basically, if you're driving her with a lot of debuffs in her team, you'll probably get 1 or 2 of these back every single time, and it is really nice to be able to loop her ultimate pretty consistently. That's like the most basic overview of the character I can give. The other things I didn't mention are that she basically gives resistance shred during her ultimate to enemies. This is basically to make it so that when she's breaking enemy toughness, it also is dealing maximum damage regardless of the enemy's weakness.
Good.
If you're below talent 10,
So
this is gonna be 20%. Until it
good.
changes, but at talent 10, it's gonna be 20%, which is basically ignoring their innate resistances. And the last thing I didn't talk about is her trace, the Abyss, which makes it so that for every Nihility character you have up to 2, she deals more damage with her basic attack, skill, and
How much?
ultimate.
How much
Now,
damage?
this kind of negatively affects her team comps in a way. because it limits
115
the amount of characters that you can play with her and
or
really get maximum damage on.
160.
However, this changes at Eidolon 2.
So
I'll
one
talk about
Nihility is gonna be
Eidolon
really
in a
good.
little bit after I
You
show
get
the
fall off at
damage,
2.
but I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a heads up. Basically,
Ooh, Eidolon.
it makes it so you only need to run 1 Nihility unit and you can get the max
E2?
damage bonus, which makes E2 very strong. But I know why you're here. I
Yo,
know you want to see
I
the
ain't trying to
showcase
go
of Acheron
broke.
and MOC. So let's do it. Let me show you.
I
how
ain't
strong
trying
this
to go
character is
broke
without her signature and
though.
with her signature
Yo,
light.
I need the
So
light
first off, we'll go
cone.
with the signature light cone.
And
I'm
the
gonna show you
E2
build that
looks
I have. This is what you guys are aware.
nasty.
Since I'm playing Sparkle in this team, I'm gonna have 109
Better than
speed.
Imbibitor's
I'm gonna let
E2.
Sparkle
Shit.
drive me up. I'm using 4-piece Pioneer Diver of Dead Waters, and I'm using the
Good
new
choice.
Usumo set, which is going to increase
Oh.
the attack of your characters by 12%, and then also increase your crit rate based on the amount of other characters that you have that are on the same path as this character. So because we're running multiple Nihility characters,
Okay.
we're getting the 12%.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So Palin's
I gotta
resolution
farm that
changes
set,
regardless of what.
guys.
The reason I'm doing that is
I
so
need
that
to
she can
farm
actually
that
use her
shit.
basic attack and still give a stack to Acheron. So watch this. Boom. She's going to apply the defense down. It's going to give Acheron a stack.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and bring Acheron to the front. Remember that Acheron only needs 9 stacks, and because she's using her signature, she's going to get 2 from this. So boom, she already has 9 stacks. And here we go, baby. This is the showcase you've been waiting for. We've got 7 stacks on him, so I'm going to attack him twice.
Yo.
Boom. 38k.
Okay.
Boom.
81.
More than that. And then since he has the most Crimson Knot, we're going to go ahead and hit him. And it explodes for 245k damage. Now, honestly, that's going to get higher, and you're going to see why. Once we have more Crimson Knot stacks, once we have Defense Shred, once we have Sparkle's Ultimate, that's going to stack up way crazier. One of my favorite things about Acheron is that it's just whenever an enemy has a debuff on them, right? So if I break this Warp Trotter, it counts as giving her a stack because the Warp Trotter gets the debuff for break. So as you can see, we get 7 stacks, even though Fushuan doesn't debuff
Her
anyway.
ultimate's going to be
what I'm gonna do
so
next, I'm gonna pull
easy.
Acheron up to the front with Sparkle. We have Sparkle's buff. We have
I'm over here
Palin's
thinking
defense
like,
debuff.
oh yeah,
And, let's go
Japard
ahead and
or
ult this and
Fire
see how much damage he does.
Trailblazer.
He's got 8 stacks. We're going to hit him. 156,000 because it's going to be AoE. It's going to hit all the enemies. Boom. Another 150k. And the final hit, all the way up to 798k, dude.
She might be the first triple S character.
What in the hell is that character?
Pure
That is
fiction.
insane.
Memory
Guys,
Chaos.
this is E0.
Sim
This is
Yulin
E0
Universe.
Acheron. This is with their
E0
light code.
too.
So keep in mind, we do have our light code. But E0 Acheron hitting almost 800,000 damage.
Yo.
Go ahead and pull up Acheron to the front.
She's gonna be good in every
Use her
single
ultimate.
content.
Here we go, baby. He's got 9 stacks. Poor Yancheng.
She's gonna be meta in every single content.
163k. 336k. 500k. Boom! 900k damage on E0, dude. What the hell? MOC 12 E0. Dude, they cooked. Holy shit. Let
What?
Hoyo cook. That is insanely good damage.
They
That
gave
is
us the
that is
strongest
absurd. Now,
character
the
of the
downside
year
is that
for
this is like very
first year
bursty
anniversary.
damage, right? Like if you don't actually have her ultimate up consistently, a lot of her damage just disappears. Just vanishes into the void. Like, as you can see there, we did 67k single target, which is still pretty good. But
That's
keep in
not
mind, we
bad.
have
That's not
Sparkle
bad.
Ultimate, we have Sparkle's skill.
That's still
we
not
have
bad,
Payless
though, for
defense shred.
skill.
We have all those things to get her to hit 67k. So her ultimate is a majority of her damage. So in a way, this is almost like
So you build the
very,
team.
very Eula.
to get the
This is very,
debuffs
very Eula. But
to
just
get
for
her
funsies at
ultimate.
1%, let's go ahead and boom, boom,
Brax,
boom.
why you gotta do him dirty like that, man?
And as you can see with less
Look,
Crimson
he's
Knockstacks,
gonna be
nothing
good when
extra,
Venturine comes
there's a
out,
lot
okay?
less damage. So that is the
We
power
can
of
hope.
Acheron so far. Now, granted, again, this is with
We
the
can hope.
signature light cone. It's E0, and the stats that I have are very achievable. These are not even close to as good as
What do you got?
Philip's
What do you got for
stats on
stats?
his main account.
That's not
Realistically,
horrible.
these stats are incredibly attainable. And
I
you
want to
can
see the
get even
whole. I
better
want to see the whole
stats.
character.
I've
Hold
heard
on.
a lot of people say that her damage is locked in.
68 and 177.
Math that honestly kind of supports that. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to Good Night Sleep Well, which is the best 4-star light
Yep,
you can use.
yep.
And I'm gonna show you guys how well
Much
this
agreed.
one does in comparison.
The only
Alright,
one you
so
can
this
get
one's gonna
all
come
the
out a
effects
little bit
off
differently.
of the
You'll
light
see
cone.
soon that we basically are gonna take way
Because effect hit
longer
rates
to
on
build
everything
up our
else.
ultimate in the first place. We're only gonna get one stack when we skill, right? So we're not gonna actually be able to ult until the next
There
Sparkle
definitely is going to be a
turn, if
damage
we want
fall
to really
off, and I
optimize
feel
our
like a
damage here.
speed
But
for
it's
her
not
ultimate, but
HOYOVERSE just yet because we do get the overcap stacks, which I do think comes in super clutch when you don't have her signature weapon. I'm
okay.
gonna go ahead and use this on Acheron to get the 3-turn extension. Gonna use her skill, go right into it, and then use her ultimate. Let's see how much damage we do. It's not going to be as good as with her signature, but you can see we still have all the defense debuffs, and we have 9 stacks. So let's see how it goes. Boom, 97k, 200k,
Yep.
300k, and all the way up to 600k, even with a 4-star light cone. Now, I'm going to be honest, that is a massive damage decrease. That damage decrease is crazy. The amount of damage that you lose from her signature light cone if you don't have it is absurd. Especially
Yeah,
for a Good
yeah,
Night Sleep Well
that's a
being one of the
huge
best 4-star
loss,
light cones
too.
for most Nihility characters. The amount of damage bonus you get from this is absolutely insane. We have it at S5 too, so we're basically getting the full damage.
You need to
bonus.
keep
We're still getting
debuffs on them
72%.
consistently,
His max
too.
level, our crit stats are cracked out. Like, we have so many things going for us right now, and just unfortunately, the damage was so much lower. And this is the main thing that I've heard that is a problem for most players that are looking to pull for Acheron. Because Acheron is not a character that...
Well, they just gotta swipe the credit card. Top up, first time top up banners, man.
One to it.
Top up
is pretty
bonuses.
dang good still, but it's not gonna be meta defining.
Look, you spend $200. All right, that's like $400 in value. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while.
Case scenario for free-to-play players, it can make up over 50%. So
Okay.
it's an absolute monster of a light cone. And when I say that this character is not free-to-play friendly, what I mean is that if you don't pull for her light cone, it is a massive damage difference. Now that's not to say that she's bad without it.
So we're gonna pull for the light cone. Simple and easy.
She hits an insane
Simple and
the problem
easy.
Is, if you're gonna invest into a 5-star character like Acheron, you may be better off investing into a character like Jinglu instead, because you don't have to pull Jinglu's signature light cone for her to be very strong.
That's too late. I already got it.
A lot of other options for light cones in Nihility class, not ones that are gonna pump that much damage. So it's a really tough position for her to be in, especially because there's so
Yeah,
many
but if you're a
people
new
that
player,
love
you
this
might not
design
even have those
and
light
love this
cones
kit
for
and want
alternate
to be able to
options
pull it.
for
Now, I'm not gonna
Jinglu.
try to discourage you from pulling, because if she's a character that you've been looking forward to and you want to pull for her anyways, then I would honestly just suggest getting her light cone. But if you are just looking for the most free-to-play friendly meta units to pick up to beat MOC, I do think she's going to cost you a little bit more. And maybe that's
I
why
think it's
they're
worth the
giving us 30
investment.
pulls for anniversary instead of 20.
Because it's not just
But the
MLC, it's
difference
gonna
is
be pure
noticeable,
fiction too.
and you will
You know?
feel it if you have the opportunity to play both of these.
Especially if you get
Protection
the
has 9
characters.
stacks of Crimson Knot. He has the 2 defense debuffs. We have the
Like
Sparkle
Paler's
buffs,
already on
and
the
we're
banner,
going into our
right?
ultimate with Good Night Sleep Well S5. So this is going to be
By the time
best
you're done
4-star
pulling,
option at S5, and it's not
at least
even
2
super
copies
frequent.
probably.
And we're going to cut them up. Let's see how it goes. Boom, 46. Boom, 98. Boom, 155.
You're gonna have a Good Night Sleep Well.
And granted, you know, the amount of targets definitely matters. The amount of targets
On
will
light
definitely
cones?
affect the overall damage outcome. So if he had 5 targets there, it probably would have been a lot more damage. 300k, essentially single target, it's probably a little bit less. It's probably just over 200k. Even hitting over 200k single target is pretty significant, but the fact that it takes 3 of those ultimates to whittle down Yunqing's health does kind of suck. And you're definitely going to feel that damage difference. With her signature light cone, you probably would have seen his HP get down to close to 50% just with that ultimate.
That's
So
still
is
not
the
that
tough
bad.
and
That's
grim
still
reality
really
about
good,
Acheron.
man.
She is an amazing character, but her light cone is so insanely strong for her specifically, and it really does kind of suck. If you're trying to get a really strong character, or if you just really like Acheron's design, you want to main her, then I do recommend getting her light cone. Not because I think her light cone is universally good on other characters or anything, but
It's just that
specifically
good for
because
her,
she
man.
gets such a
Nah, you
massive
need to.
increase from it. So you might be wondering why I had only one Nihility character
If you
in
want
my
the pure,
team. I
unadulterated
guess I should have explained
Acheron,
this
get
sooner.
that light
Yeah,
cone.
I was only running one Nihility character, which is super weird, right? Well, the reason is actually that Sparkle is so strong that it's actually better to run one Nihility and Sparkle
I mean,
than it
that's
is to
what,
run two
115 bonus
Nihility. There's
and
not
then a
many other Nihility characters
160%.
that do so much
So I mean, the
for
fall
other
off on the
characters in
bonus
your team
damage
that
isn't
can
really worth running
outdo
both Nihility
Sparkle.
characters.
However, this is by a
At least in
very
my
small
opinion.
margin.
Just
Technically
saying.
speaking, if you wanted to, running another Nihility character could also be very close to the damage you're getting with Sparkle. So it just depends on the amount of characters you have invested in. Like, if you haven't invested in Gwynifen, if Pela is the only Nihility character you've invested in, and you also have Sparkle, then this team's probably going to be the best thing you can do. But if you've invested in some of the other units, like specifically Gwynifen is basically the only other person you're going to be able to run.
Yeah, because that's 2
then
debuffs
this
every
is like
skill,
a
right?
decent setup. It's not going to be as strong as the Sparkle setup. If you want one that is about as strong as a Sparkle setup, you want to run Silverwolf. And the issue with Silverwolf is obviously the single target stuff. But if you manage to debuff enemies with her,
You just get a
which she
fast
applies
Silverwolf,
many
that's it.
debuffs,
Just make her
then
fast.
This is one of her stronger teams as well. Is running the double Nihility Pela Silverwolf Defense Shred, and then the fourth slot can just
Run
be
the ornaments that give advanced forward.
This, and I was wondering about it too. This is one of the first things I asked.
Yeah, my boy.
Can you play Welt as a sustain unit without?
I got me too.
And the answer is
losing law 50-50s.
You get really lucky because the thing is,
what?
Welt's sustainability is not so consistent that he can keep everyone
That's
imprisoned
true.
all the time.
Oh yeah, if you're replacing him for the sustain, yeah, no. He's good, but he ain't that good.
Attack, do get a chance to slip through the cracks that you're not gonna die. The other
you gotta kill him fast.
Specifically effective against imaginary enemies. You might be thinking, but Brax, he imprisons enemies regardless of their weakness with his ultimate. Yes, but you don't only need him imprisoned from his ultimate. You need him imprisoned from his basic attack and skill. You need to be able to break enemies. That's part of being able to delay them. That's part of being able to sustain with Welt, and it is pretty tough. Now, I will say one benefit that Welt does have is if you have this very specific light cone that not every single person in the game has, where you can get some energy back whenever you hit enemies that are defense shredded, because you're going to be running Pela in basically every single Acheron team. Every single Acheron team wants Pela. It's going to be very rare that you can get away with not running Pela. The reason is because there's not a lot of other options, and because Pela is AoE defense shred, she has debuffs on her skill if you have Eidolons, she has debuffs on her ultimate. She's just such a solid unit for Acheron specifically. She counts as one of those.
She's a solid unit no matter what.
It's basically impossible to replace her.
I run her in a whole bunch of teams.
You can also run Welt instead of Sparkle as your second Nihility, and then also run a sustaining character. So like if you're gonna play Bailu, for example, and you have Welt as your second Nihility, build Welt as a DPS.
She still does the job. I mean,
screws in prison. It doesn't matter. We don't care. We just want damage from Welt.
Oh no, I feel like runs apart better than her.
The imprison's gonna be nice, but it is what it is. But the perfect ideal team is Sparkle, Pela, Welt. If you could solo sustain with Welt. If you can't do that, most of the time I'm going to suggest just Sparkle, Pela, Acheron, and then a sustain character. But that's why I was running Sparkle, because she actually unironically
Aventurine
is one of
when
her
he comes
parents,
out.
even though you miss out on a portion of her talent that's going to give her extra basic attack skill and ultimate damage. Sparkle is so strong that she beats that for having the second Nihility character. Now, there's two more things I want to go over with you guys. One is her Eidolons. Her Eidolons are very strong. And honestly, I think they're a little unreasonably strong, specifically because her light cone is so good. Acheron's signature light cone is so powerful that I'm going to actually unironically recommend people pull for it if they want to main Acheron. If you do not want to main Acheron, I can't recommend pulling for this light cone, and truthfully, I don't know if I would recommend pulling for her as a power meta unit without her light cone. Specifically because the only time she's fighting Jinglu for the top spot is with this, which sucks because her Eidolons are also very strong, and there's going to be people that want to go with Eidolons for her, but are basically...
I love Jinglu though, don't get me wrong,
if you do go for Eidolons, E2 is going to be a massive damage shot.
I'm going to be running Acheron for a while.
Of the original damage is crazy. Crit rate increase against debuffed enemies is also really good. It's going to help you.
Everything's going to be debuffed.
Like some not as good relics, but you may end up being able to hit the crit rate threshold that you need anyways without it. If you are,
nah, I'm going to need that. But I know what my relics are right now. I'm going to need that.
And then this is pretty good. Now, E4 is very interesting because it afflicts enemies with an ultimate damage vulnerability state, which is going to increase the amount of ultimate damage you deal to them. This realistically is a pretty small buff until you get to E6. One thing I haven't been able to test is if this vulnerability state counts as a debuff.
Yeah, that'd be important.
In combat, that's pretty dang cool. That's a pretty nice thing.
That's guaranteed.
It may not matter a ton, but
ultimate
it's
turn one basically.
And finally, you have E6, which I'm probably gonna pull for E6 over on my Twitch.
What the fuck?
It increases all type res spend for ultimate damage dealt by Acheron by 20%. So basically, not only is she reducing enemies' resistances by 20% with her talent and her ultimate, but she's also getting 20% more res pad, which is absolutely fucking cool.
I'm sorry, what?
Basic attack and skill will also be considered ultimate damage.
I'm sorry, what? Yo. And can reduce enemy toughness regardless of weakness type. When weakness is broken, triggers the lightning weakness break effect. Okay. Yeah, so we're entering power creep state right now. Especially for whales. Well,
damage
damn.
and can reduce enemy toughness regardless of weakness types. So her ultimate could already break anyone of any type. That was never an issue, but now her basic attack and skill count as her ultimate effectively. So her basic attack and skill are getting the buff from E4. Her ultimate's also getting the buff from E4. And then also, you're able to break enemies regardless of their element, regardless of their weaknesses with this.
So she's gonna be a rainbow unit. Or colorless, whatever the fucking terminology is. I don't even know at this point. You basically make it. You basically make her a rainbow unit. Shit.
Now, keep in mind, this is only for the low cost of like 2,000 US dollars, right? So, like, you don't actually need this at all, and I'm not going to recommend you
For
pull
the
for this
down
unless you're
payment of
just
a car.
really horrendously down bad like me. But her Eidolons are pretty crazy. I think E2, if you are an Acheron fan, if you're a Mei fan, if you've been a fan of Mei forever, if you're just like, wow, I love Mei and Mei's the only character I care about in the game, E2 and S1 are the way to go. And it's going to be like 500, 600 pulls.
Oh, I'm
but
considering
this is
it
one of her
now.
biggest damage jumps, and this is going to be one of her biggest damage jumps. In fact, her light cone is so strong that you should absolutely get this before any Eidolons, in my opinion.
I swear to God, if I lose that 50-50, I'm a rage.
Super sick. Like, I love this character. I can't get over the light cone thing, man. I can't get over the light cone thing.
I will
wish
fucking
that it wasn't
rage.
such a big difference in damage. She's not like doomed if you don't get her light cone. A lot of people
Nah, but that's a
doomed if you
big
don't get her light
difference,
cone, but the
man.
damage is still pretty
That's
decent without it.
huge.
But she definitely wants a lot of investment. I'm hoping that they come out with some
Holy
other light
Kafka
cone
light
that's, like, a good
cones.
4-star
Oh wait, this
alternative
is
to
the
this
test
one.
server,
Just
isn't
like
it?
another one that applies to
Never mind.
debuff, but that's more damage focused.
Never
and that could be
mind.
really nice. But I don't see that happening super soon in the future. So Acheron is a super crazy cool unit. I absolutely love playing this character. She's super fun. But just keep in mind, if you're gonna pull for her, that light cone is a big difference. And if you're holding out for any character specifically, like if you're missing a second sustainer, you want to be careful that you don't miss that character that you've been saving for a really long time because you wanted to max out her potential. If anything, if you do want to main Acheron and you're short on pulls, but you need like Fushuan in the future, or if you need like Locha in the future or something, go ahead and just pull for Acheron and Locha and then save for the light cone later if you're really like that.
Yeah, keep yourself balanced. It's a
I did want to show you guys.
four
This
character
is a
team.
super important thing that I think is going to be overlooked by a lot of people, and it's an absolute game changer. With her
You
technique,
think elation?
you can just erase enemies from the game.
God.
Oh my god, dude. You can just erase.
Why do I feel like this is like a band-aid fix until they actually give a real fix to the long grind of Simulated Universe? Like, if you don't wait till 2.3, pull Acheron because it will speed up your Sim Uni runs. That's what I feel like right now, and I'm all for it because that feeling of just insta-killing and then getting your fucking your blessings, that shit's gonna be immaculate.
Erase them. You can just get rid of them entirely. They're just gone forever, and then you get the buffs. And you know what? It's not a huge deal in Overworld. It is kind of nice. It takes technique points is the problem, right? If you go into Overworld and you do this, it takes technique points. So it's not something you could just spam to.
Oh yeah, we definitely fucking pulling for her.
What this is going to do is make Simulated Universe runs.
Oh,
the fact that I can just do this, and then I'm done with the fight, and I can just move on to the next thing. And then I I can just go to combat again because why would I do another thing if I could just insta-kill the enemies? Watch this. Boom. Oh, wow. That was super fast. I can move on to the next domain now. Let's see what's in the next one. I have one technique point. I hope I can find another one. Oh.
But no, Brax. I love spending half an hour on SimUni just to get the shit-ass ornaments with the bad rolls. That's my favorite part of the game, guys. You know? When you go through all this trouble and you pull to every single boss and you just end up with defense pieces the whole time, right? I love defense pieces. Yo, I'm just trying to get my Japard up there, you know? 5K defense, let's get it.
Oh, there's a health thing. I was no technical point things. That's fine because there's only one guy. We'll just get rid of him. And now we can move on to the next one. That's crazy. Look how fast SE runs.
If they don't have, sorry for the pausing, guys. If they don't give us something to increase technique point respawn, I'm a rage.
Sorry, we're already at the elite. Now, I can't do anything to this elite because I just have Acheron. I'll probably lose. I might not lose, actually. No, I'd win. But it's
Yeah,
insane.
you
It allows me
would.
to just run through SU so incredibly fast. Finally, Rowan may power crept to buy a GPS character. Anyways, you guys, let me know if you're pulling for Acheron in our like code down
Oh,
below.
we're
I
definitely
want to know
pulling.
what you guys are thinking about doing because I
No,
know a lot of people are interested in this character, but I want to hear your opinions on things. And I'll have a guide out with like all of the really in-depth information, the builds and everything
and
as
we're
soon
gonna
as
watch
Acheron
it.
releases. So stay tuned
And
for that. Next
maybe
up is
react to it.
Galliard.
I don't
I'll catch
know.
you guys
We'll see
next
how
time.
this does. Yeah. Or if I'm still a content
If you
creator
guys
by
don't
then.
know Mina, Mina is a super
Well, all right. We'll save that for another video. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Much love to Brax. I love your content, man. Congratulations on getting that private server access. I hope much more content creators get in there. All right. I want to see. I want to see everyone succeed. You know, I want to see you guys thrive. I love your content, right? Every content creator who makes these Honkai Star Rail videos, you guys have inspired me to jump into this ecosystem of videos. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop the leaks. They want to keep the hype going. Whether or not they're approaching it the right way, I don't fully agree with it. A few other people probably don't either. But it is what it is, man. We're gonna have to adapt and let's see what happens with this video. Let's see. I'll post something if I get a strike, but I'm thinking, maybe I'm a small channel, they won't do anything to me, or maybe it's because I'm a small channel they will. Either way, we'll find out. But in the meantime, you have yourself a great day. I'll catch you later.